The Platform Design Toolkit was originally created in 2013, and it has so far grown into a community of over 70,000 adopters worldwide. The Platform Design Toolkit and its 2016 companion Whitepaper, From Business Modeling to Platform Design, have been fundamental in instigating and shaping the practice of platform design worldwide. After more than 7 years from the creation of the first Platform Design Toolkit in 2013, the context and scope of platform ecosystem thinking have changed and grown widely. New foundations of platform ecosystem thinking are now needed.
In 2019, our work seemed to be increasingly out of context. We acknowledged that new challenges abound, new ways of thinking are needed, and that products and organizations need to be ready for a changing world. Without knowing how rapidly our basic assumptions of the world would have come to a shift in 2020, we set out to produce a comprehensive update to our unified theory of markets, organizations, and society, adding new perspectives, new tools, and expert voices from the field of platform ecosystem thinking and beyond.
The 2020 New Foundations of Platform Ecosystem Thinking. Designing products and organizations for a changing world provides key insights into the next generation of platform marketplaces, as these models continue to grow ever more pervasive.
Anything that we care about, anything that forms societies is going to be digitized, is going to be touched by the efficiency that these interfaces bring. And therefore, understanding how they work and why they work is critical to almost any job that we have, no matter where we sit in the economy. And I think while that will be, it'll play out in different places at different times, I think taking that approach and that attitude to realizing it's going to touch everything, I think is the best way to begin the experiment of trying to understand what's about to happen over the next 20 years.
As you start to be able to transact more readily in a digital context, you start to see market-based transactions where you used to have only firm-based transactions.
On top of pervasivity, the white paper highlights further trends as this pattern becomes ubiquitous, dynamics emerge, making the case for a further rebuilding of marketplace platforms in more vertical and managed markets.
Now, as things have evolved and we've built many billion-dollar businesses using this model, people are starting to look at other industries where the marketplace model can work, which sometimes need to have more ownership and require kind of more venture capital to get up and running. Now that venture capital is available, so you can actually make an attempt at building that.
I've never seen bundles getting unbundled without them getting subsequently rebundled. Traditional bundles were built around production efficiencies. They were built around the firm boundaries. They were built around production supply chains. So they were built around the constraints of what enabled efficient production. As we move forward, because the ability to serve the demand is the key control point, you will have to rebundle in order to best serve the demand.
And to help organizations resonate with these trends, the New Foundations of Platform Ecosystem Thinking white paper also explores the next waves of organizational design, taking advantage of outside-in dynamics where the ecosystem is driving the direction, rather than a central core.
To succeed as a corporation, you need to realize that there's now more power on the outside, and you need to redeploy your organization so as to be able to harness that power from the outside, which basically means inviting individuals to lend their power to you so that you can convert that power into whatever you want to achieve.
We may think about ecosystems as an external appendage for the firm, but we can't really have a two-sided marketplace as our main business model involving thousands of other enterprises unless we change the inside of the firm too.
The next generation of organizational design, because it allows contextually unique solutions to emerge and adapt, but based on a coherent whole.
And to contextualize better the evolution of business models and organizational models, The white paper explores the backdrop of organizing in the 21st century, covering the evolving landscape of risk and governance by applying a complexity lens.
When you're facing a complex environment, as human organizations are, as living systems are in the setting of ecologies, you have to respond to forces at different scales. There's these large scale cascades that are going on all the time now, and decentralization is one of the means of building those down a bit, making them not so severe, not so large scale.
And this thesis of decentralization asks us to understand how networks work, how network governance is on the rise, and how our institutions need to rewrite to be able to respond adaptively to the tremendous governance challenges that face humanity.
And what we're finding is that the world we live in, because of globalization, connectivity, information flow, is exceedingly complex. And it moves very, very quickly and moves in ways that break down the old methods of decision making. What we need to have for a world that changes that quickly is a network decision making system. And I think what we're seeing globally is some form of that developing.
On top of this, new technologies are emerging such as AI, blockchain, 5G. How are they transforming the landscape? How are they making new ways of creating value possible? The white paper will help readers understand impacts and the new landscape of organizing that comes out of those impacts. Certainly, the future of organizing seems challenging and a bit different from its present, and needs to look at the genuine and unique capabilities of humans to participate, to create and interact in new ways.
What we are seeing is effectively that our human development thesis has stalled, yet our machine development thesis has been escalating. And I think what we're about to enter is a new period of human development. And that's about giving us the capabilities to deal with risk, the capabilities to be creative, the capabilities to be emotionally intelligent, the capabilities to be collaborative, the capabilities to learn. It's those foundational goods that I think we're going to be focusing on.
With this white paper, we want to make our contribution towards bringing forward a shared language that will help to design new tools for what's coming next. What we're seeing are new ways of organizing value creation and distribution, where small units are empowered, helped by new technologies to pursue nimble leadership under an umbrella of architecting principles. It's about realizing human potential while enabling resilience. It's about moving from the no more into the not yet.
We're in this inflection point between no more and not yet. I think in the not yet side, the part that we can see, if we squint, many of us can anticipate how we can see these things coming together, whether they're systems of trust, decentralized like blockchain, clusters or collectives of people or ecosystems or teams coordinating in curious and interesting ways, collaboration with nature rather than having to try to overcome nature.